The Chinese are on the move. As part of the biggest migration ever, they're moving into the cities, turning their backs on rural poverty and heading for the metropolis to seek their fortunes. Many leave their families behind in the country. Their aim? To earn enough money to send home to support them. These men are looking for work as labourers, carpenters and welders, advertising their skills on handmade signs. Women often want jobs as sales clerks, waitresses and maids. Altogether, 12 million Chinese are pouring into the cities every year. In an historic demographic shift, Chinese city dwellers will overtake the rural population within a generation. To manage this change, China plans to build 400 new cities over the next 20 years, each housing over 500,000 residents. Chinese cities, new and old, are straining to provide all these citizens with a healthy environment and a better standard of living. This is the story of how one Chinese city is merging its fabled history with present realities to begin the long march to a sustainable future. Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province in southwestern China, is famous for its fiery hot peppers. There is an old Chinese saying, as Sichuan goes, so goes China. But in 1985, both Sichuan and Chengdu were experiencing some pretty rough going. It proved a wake-up call. Da Pengfu remembers when he first became concerned.
I started teaching nature science in 1978 and was extremely interested in nature. Later, I read a book called The Silent Sprint. I realized that in the 80s, the most sensitive topic in China was the environment.
Wang Shu is an engineer unaccustomed to fear.
Pollution isn't frightening. What's frightening is if you don't deal with the pollution and don't put importance on it. First, you need to decrease the amount of pollution. Then you need to purify the water and send it back to nature.
Wang Zhuohua believes the answer is involving everyone, including the children.
People must participate in environmental protection from the time they are young and involving generation after generation. When we protect the environment, we protect ourselves. Our lives depend on the environment.
Over the last decade, the people of Chengdu have mounted a massive effort to reinvent their city, starting with the river that runs through it. The Fu and Nan rivers that encircle the inner city of Chengdu were once collectively known as the Brocade River. Silk brocade was the famed material exported on the long and tortuous Silk Road. Legend has it that the name came about because the river was so clean that when the fabric was washed in the river, it would come out brighter and more lustrous. By the 1980s, this was certainly not the case.
Chengdu's Funan rivers, because of urban development, became very polluted. Before 1990, this river was so polluted that it was unsuitable for people to live beside.
It was filthy. The public toilet was the worst.
We called it a rotten river.
The river ran right in front of our school and it was very dirty. And we wanted very much for it to be clean.
Just government determination or just money